Hey everyone, and welcome back to our deep dive into the incredible world of gaming. Today, we're plugging into the electrifying universe of esports and competition. When you think of esports, you probably picture massive stadiums, huge prize pools, and millions of fans tuning in. But where did it all begin? You might be surprised to learn that the very first esports event wasn't for millions of dollars. It happened all the way back in 1972 at Stanford University, where students battled it out in the game Space War. And the grand prize for the ultimate champion? A year's subscription to Rolling Stone magazine. A bit different from today's multi-million-dollar winnings, right? But it was this humble beginning that planted the seed for the global phenomenon we know today. From a magazine subscription to sold-out arenas, the journey of competitive gaming is one of the most exciting stories in modern entertainment. So, how did we get from there to here? Let's trace the evolution of competition, starting with the games that literally changed the game. The 1990s were a golden age for arcades, and one game stood tall, defining a genre and birthing a competitive scene that's still thriving today: Street Fighter II. This wasn't just another button masher. It was a game of strategy, timing, and mind games. It introduced the combo system, which became the foundation of modern fighting games. You couldn't just randomly press buttons and hope to win. You had to learn your character, understand matchups, and predict your opponent's next move. This strategic depth is what made it perfect for competition. Street Fighter II also gave us a roster of iconic characters that are still household names. Did you know that the legendary Chun-Li was the first playable female fighter in the series? She wasn't just a damsel in distress. She was a powerful martial artist who could hold her own against anyone, paving the way for countless strong female characters in gaming. And what about Ryu's signature move, the Hadouken? That familiar blue fireball we've all tried to replicate in real life. The name literally translates to wave motion fist. It's these little details and the revolutionary gameplay that made Street Fighter II a cornerstone of competitive gaming history. Of course, you can't talk about 90s fighting games without mentioning the other titan of the arcade, Mortal Kombat. While Street Fighter II was about stylized, almost cartoonish combat, Mortal Kombat took a completely different, much grittier path. It used digitized sprites of real actors, giving it a shockingly realistic look for its time. But what truly made it infamous was its over-the-top violence and, of course, the fatalities. These finishing moves were unlike anything anyone had ever seen in a video game before. The public outcry and parental concern were so intense that it led to U.S. Senate hearings on video game violence. The result? The creation of the Entertainment Software Rating Board, or the ESRB. That little black and white box on the front of every game case, with ratings like E for everyone or M for mature, exists today largely because Mortal Kombat pushed the boundaries of what was considered acceptable in gaming. It's a fascinating example of how a single game can have a massive impact, not just on its own industry, but on culture and regulation as a whole. It proved that games were becoming a powerful and influential form of media that needed to be taken seriously. As the 90s rolled on, a new perspective was about to take over the gaming world, literally. In 1993, a game called Doom was released, and it didn't just popularize the first-person shooter genre, it defined it. Doom put you directly in the boots of the Doom guy, blasting your way through hellish landscapes filled with demonic enemies. Its fast-paced, visceral action, combined with groundbreaking 3D graphics and level design, was a revelation. But what truly cemented its place in competitive history was its pioneering multiplayer mode, Deathmatch. For the first time, you could connect multiple computers over a local network and hunt each other down in a virtual arena. This was the birth of the LAN party, where friends would haul their bulky CRT monitors and tower PCs to one location for a weekend of non-stop gaming. Doom's Deathmatch was pure, unadulterated chaos and fun, and it laid the groundwork for every competitive FPS that followed, from Quake and Halo to Call of Duty and Valorant. The influence of Doom's multiplayer is simply impossible to overstate. It was the big bang of competitive first-person shooters. The legacy of Doom extends far beyond its gameplay. The game's source code was famously released to the public, which sparked a massive and creative modding community. But it also started one of the most enduring memes in all of tech culture. Can it run Doom? Because the game was so efficient and its code so accessible, programmers and tech enthusiasts made it a personal challenge to get Doom running on the most absurd and unexpected devices imaginable. We're talking about running the classic shooter on digital cameras, smart thermostats, printers, and even old-school graphing calculators. People have even managed to get it running on an ATM. This meme became more than just a joke. It evolved into a real, if unconventional, benchmark for hardware. If you could get a device to run Doom, it showed you had a fundamental level of control over its processing capabilities. It's a testament to the game's brilliant programming and its lasting impact on tech culture. It's not just a game, it's a technical rite of passage, a piece of software so iconic that getting it to work on a new piece of hardware is a badge of honor for tinkerers everywhere. Now let's fast forward a bit. As we moved into the 2000s, PC gaming was evolving rapidly, thanks in large part to the vibrant modding communities that games like Doom helped create. One of the most popular games of this era was Blizzard's Warcraft III, a real-time strategy game with powerful hero units. Its map editor was so versatile that players could create entirely new games within it. And one of those custom maps, called Defense of the Ancients, or Dota, would change the course of competitive gaming forever. Dota took the hero-centric gameplay of Warcraft III and pitted two teams of 5 against each other in a battle to destroy the opponent's base. It was a complex game of strategy, teamwork, and individual skill. It was so addictively fun and strategically deep that it became a global phenomenon, all while still being just a mod for another game. The creators of this mod saw its massive potential. They eventually went on to develop a standalone version, refining the formula and creating one of the biggest games in the world, League of Legends. That's right, the esports giant that fills stadiums today, League of Legends, has its roots as a humble mod for Warcraft III. When it launched in 2009, it helped formalize the genre that Dota had created, which we now call the Multiplayer Online Battle Arena, or MOBA. League of Legends took the core concept, 2 teams of 5, 3 lanes, destroying a nexus, and made it more accessible, with a unique art style and a constantly growing roster of champions. Riot Games, the developer, embraced the competitive nature of the game from the very beginning. They built an infrastructure around esports, creating professional leagues, regional championships, and the annual World Championship, which has become one of the most watched sporting events on the planet, regularly drawing more viewers than the Super Bowl. The journey of League of Legends, from a fan-made mod to a global esports powerhouse, perfectly illustrates the evolution of competitive gaming. It shows how a great idea, born from the passion of a community, can grow into a worldwide cultural force, defining a generation of gamers and athletes. From a magazine subscription at Stanford to the global spectacle of the League of Legends World Championship, the history of esports is a story of innovation, community, and passion. It began with simple competitions in arcades and LAN parties, fueled by games like Street Fighter II and Doom that were built for rivalry. These games didn't just entertain us, they laid the foundation for entire genres and proved that gaming could be a legitimate spectator sport. Then, the power shifted to the players themselves. Creative modders took existing games and forged new experiences, leading to the birth of the MOBA genre with Dota and its evolution into titans like League of Legends. This journey shows that the heart of esports has always been the community. It's about the players who strive to be the best, the fans who cheer them on, and the creators who dare to build something new. What started as a niche hobby has exploded into a multi-billion-dollar industry, creating careers for players, casters, coaches, and countless others. The world of competitive gaming is constantly evolving, and its future looks brighter than ever. And that brings us to the end of this episode. What an incredible journey through the history of esports and competition. It's amazing to see how far we've come from those early days. What are some of your favorite esports moments or competitive games? Let me know down in the comments below. I love reading your stories and getting your perspective on these topics. Thank you so much for watching and for being a part of this community. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on our next adventure into the world of gaming. Ring that notification bell too, so you're the first to know when a new video drops. Until next time, keep playing, keep competing, and stay awesome.